Perfect. All right, guys. So, with that being said, we're gonna get going. And first thing I want you to know is that there's a reason that we did this in Zoom. We want you to get the most out of this, and we want it to be interactive. It's important that we get questions answered. We have back and forth part of here. In Vibrant Life, the community part of it's super important. And it's really important. We know that it really aids in our client success. So that's exactly why we set it up this way. So we don't want you to just sit back and be passive. This isn't a lecture here in a college course or anything like that. We want you to really interact and to have a win. Like that's the biggest purpose. You leave here with a huge win, some momentum to carry on. Whether you decide to work with Vibrant Life or whether you're doing this on your own, we want you to have a lot of value from this. So let's all start by just using that chat. Let's get that chat going. I want you to start by just saying hi and letting everybody know here where you're from too. Okay, so put in the chat anything you want to, any details about yourself you're welcome to give to, and also just put where you're from. So with that being said, guys, we're going to get started here and we're going to get right into it. So most people believe that in order to lose weight, you need to understand how to eat, but that's really not enough. And most people also believe that, you have to learn how to exercise the right way, but that's not enough. And a ton of people believe that you need to give up everything. You got to resign yourself to a life of deprivation, but that's definitely not it either. So what I'm going to help you do is understand in this webinar that there's actually 3 mindset shifts that you need to make before you will ever see any lasting results on your health journey. And they're so important. And at the end of the webinar, I'm also going to give you a way to start down a new path once all these mindset shifts are in place. So the first thing that I want to do here is I want you guys to promise me 2 things. I want you to be open to the possibility that changing the way that you think, changing your mindset around your weight and your health, that will be the thing that can truly unlock your progress. I know not everybody believes that, but I want you to at least consider it for me because I'm a firm believer, and all of our coaches are also firm believers that the way that we think determines how we act. Okay. So number 2, the other thing I want you to promise is if you don't have any sort of breakthrough on this call, I want you to promise not to invest anything with me. Okay, the next step requires that you have a shift in your mindset, a shift in your thinking. So if that doesn't happen, what I'm going to tell you about at the end of the webinar won't work for you. And that's totally okay too. Now, I know a lot of you guys are in my Facebook group. I mean, we have about 36,000 women, I think, in there at this point. And a lot of you are carrying around a lot of extra weight. It might be 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 50 pounds, 60 pounds, even more than that. And I've texted each and every one of you as you've come into the group. I've also had lots and lots of in-person conversations over my years coaching women. You see, before I founded Vibrant Life, I had a gym in St. Louis where I coached women. I'm going to actually share my screen right now so you can kind of see what that looks like. So here's my gym here. Here's a picture of a lot of the women that I coach. And when I first began coaching, though, I had women and men of all ages, all ages. But as I went on, as the years went by, I found out I actually had a real passion for helping women over 50. Women over 50, help them to make a lifestyle change, to shed the excess weight, to get back to a healthy lifestyle that maybe they haven't lived for a long time, or maybe not even ever. And you might be thinking, like, Ryan, why do you care so much about older women? And that's a valid question because I was actually a professional athlete. Here's a couple pictures of me playing ball when I was playing for the Kansas City Royals. I got to do that for a few years before I even started my exercise and fitness career. And you might have thought that, I would have ended up coaching young athletes after I left that career. But what most people don't know is that my dad died when I was only 5. And so at that point, I was left to be raised by my mother and my grandmother. So I'm going to show you a couple pictures here. This is my favorite picture of me and my dad. I was only about 2 years old there, but we went to this place called Trout Lodge every single summer. I actually have some of my only memories of my dad being there. And so this was my dad before he passed when I was in kindergarten. And then I want to show you a picture of my grandma. My grandma was my best friend. She was the person that really was a second mother to me. She was there right alongside my mom, filling that void that my dad that my dad created by leaving this world too early. And so here's a picture of my grandma. She was a spunky one. And this is her in, in her 80s, and even here at the end of her 90s there at my wedding. But she was an amazing, amazing person. And also my mom too. They both, again, they were there together with me. So this is a picture of my mom, and those are the two biggest inspirations, which is why I truly believe I feel so called to help women that are of a certain age, as my grandma would say. So want to tell you one thing about my grandma though. She was the type of grandma who didn't just sit on the sidelines. She didn't just, watch me have a good time. She was there right alongside me the whole way. I've got memories of her playing one-on-one basketball with me. I've got memories of her going sledding with me, not just taking me sledding and being at the bottom of the hill. I'm talking about walking up the hill and going sledding with me in her lap. That's the type of grandma she was. And she didn't get there by accident. She did it because she focused on her health her whole life. And she passed that on to me. When we went to the playground, she wasn't just on the benches outside of the playground, just making sure that everything was okay. She was on there chasing me and other kids around. I have vivid memories of that. And I know a lot of the women in our program, they have that dream too. They want to be there for their grandkids the exact same way. And that's exactly what my grandma did. She and my mom encouraged me. They gave me the confidence to follow my dreams. And so I opened up that gym, and I built an amazing community of members who supported each other. They worked out together. And through that community, through those conversations, I learned that there was a real need for women over 50. They weren't getting the support that they needed. I had lots of younger people coming into my gym. I just wasn't called to do that. I was called to help the women that weren't getting the right support. Women like April here, women like April who felt selfish, making herself a priority, who gave everything to her family, her kids that were in all these sports, her husband even, who was a doctor. She gained the same 10 to 20 pounds each year and was just struggling, had no confidence. Women like Christine, who kept beating herself up with negative self-talk every time that she tried and failed to lose weight. Women like Monica, who struggled with Parkinson's disease and never thought that she could lose weight. And Kathy here, who has two autoimmune diseases. She has arthritis. She has food intolerances. She has hypothyroidism, everything that you can think of against her. Her doctor even told her, don't even worry about it. This is the way that you're going to be. You can't change it. Guess what? She sure as heck did. She proved him wrong. And you might be like one or more of these women. You may have put weight on as you hit menopause. Some of you may have been carrying this weight since the first time that you had a baby or even before that. And you may have started working out and then got injured and then stopped. And you might be telling yourself things like this. You might be saying, my whole family is heavy. It runs in my genes. I've tried everything under the sun. Nothing is ever going to work for me. It's too late in my life. I won't be able to lose this weight. This is just who I am. Weight is just a part of aging. You might be saying, it's too confusing. It's overwhelming. I don't have time or patience to figure this out anymore. Who here has said some of those things or something similar to that? I want you to put it in the chat if you can relate to some of those thoughts. Have any of those thoughts crossed your mind? Right? Who can relate? But today, guys, I want you to put all of those objections aside. Okay? Because no matter what you've tried, whether that was Weight Watchers or Nutrisystem or whatever the latest fad is right now, I guarantee you that those programs started with the wrong thing. Exercise, diet, nutrition, all of those things are important. You can't succeed without making changes in those areas. And those are all elements of our coaching programs, but there's a foundation that you have to lay before you can work on any of that. And every program out there that I've seen misses that key part. It's what prevents you from doing any of the other parts well. And that key element is changing the way you currently think about your weight, changing the way you think about your health in general, and changing the way you think about your future. So today I'm going to help you reframe your beliefs around losing weight, but not just your general beliefs. There are 3 specific ways in your mind that you need to shift. And after our time together, we're going to walk away knowing, number 1, why the cards are stacked against you when it comes to weight loss, and then what you can do about that. Number 2, why you should forget about success and what you should be chasing instead. Number 3, how having a clear weight loss goal can actually push your happiness and fulfillment away. And when you learn about these things, your outlook about your weight loss, your outlook about your health journey is going to change forever. And you're going to be able to go about achieving this in a brand new way starting today. So that's exciting, right? Imagine for a minute just being able to live a life without limits. Picture this. Imagine being able to get up and do something without ever second guessing yourself. Being able to climb stairs, carry groceries, work in the garden, or even just like take a walk without pain, right? Being able to go on a vacation without squeezing into an airplane seat or being too uncomfortable in a long car ride. Going on outings with family and friends and being able to confidently do anything without ever thinking twice. Can I do it? Should I do it? Am I going to be too embarrassed to do it? Right? Imagine that life. Imagine being able to reach into the back of your closet to pull anything out of your closet, just knowing that you're going to feel comfortable and confident. How freeing would that be? How freeing would that be? So if I succeed in helping you change the way that you think about weight, the way you think about your health and your fitness, will you commit to putting it into action right here, right now? Drop a yes in the chat if you're with me on that. Let's see it. Drop a yes. Let me know that you're with me on doing that. Triple yes. All right. Keep it going. Yes, yes. I'm seeing the comments. I love it. Thank you, guys. Keep staying interactive here as we going on. All right. So we're going to get going here. Like I said earlier, I had a gym in St. Louis, and that was all the way until COVID hit. And we all know what happened then. It was a double whammy for all my gym members. It was the state shut us down, right? We weren't able to, actually, it was like 3.5 months before we could even start working out together. All of our members were stuck at home. And I knew that, they needed some extra help. They needed some help or they were going to start sliding backwards. We were going to lose some of the ground that we gained. Okay, so I started coaching virtually. And you know what? A surprising thing happened. Our women actually got better results. They got better results. We gave them more accountability and they did better. It wasn't just the workouts that they were doing, but they were getting support daily. And here's the other cool thing. I was able to start reaching even more and more women, not just the women that were, 5 minutes, 10-minute drive from my house. I was able to actually help women all over the United States, thousands of women. And so I started my Facebook group. I started sharing resources and tips, brought on an amazing coaching team that also brought their knowledge to the women. And it grew and it grew. And now we have this amazing community of women. Like I said, over 35,000 just in our Facebook group. And we give a lot of free advice there. And the women in the group, they love all the things that they learn. I'll share a little bit now. I'm sure you've seen some of this in the group. Oh, I guess I forgot to show you some of the other women. So there you go. There's a couple other views of some of the women in our program. But here's what I was trying to show you here. So here's Coach Tony, coming in. We're doing a presentation here on hormones and menopause. We have Coach Sarah here doing a meal prep course, all live on Facebook. You guys can find this in the group too if you want to go through it. We have Coach Tamitha here talking about vegetables and the importance of vegetables and how to cook vegetables the right way. There's just all kinds of things here. We even have these live Q&As that we do every single month. We bring different coaches in. We answer everybody's questions live. We try to give a ton out there just to get people the support that they need. And my coaches are there. They're doing these live videos. They're sharing the tips. They're sharing these mini challenges every single week. And we also give people an opportunity, to receive some one-on-one coaching because we know that people need that one-on-one support too. And that's where we normally teach these mindset shifts. It's normally where we teach these mindset shifts, but I realize everyone needs these, especially people who are caught in a weight loss cycle. These mindset shifts are so powerful. I did not want to just reserve them for people like we have about 400 in our coaching program. I don't want to just reserve that just for those 400 people. And that's why we're here today. That's why I'm talking with all of you right now, because this has to get out there. You guys have to understand that this is the difference maker for you in succeeding with something you might have been working at your whole life. I promise you that. So let's dive in. Are you guys ready? You guys excited? Awesome. Should be. Yes. And it does start with your mindset. Absolutely, Cindy. All right, so we're going to get going here. The first shift that I'm going to help you make is probably going to be surprising because it goes against the grain. And here it is. When it comes to the health and wellness world, the whole world is against you. And I'm going to explain that, right? I'm not saying that you don't have some sort of responsibility in it. You know, what I'm saying is that the cards are stacked against you, though. And here's why. Over the last decade, the FDA, whose primary role is to protect and promote public health, has dramatically changed all of its recommendations. And the FDA regulates things like food manufacturing, processing, packaging, labeling. So really, its hands are in literally everything, right? So let me give you a few examples. In the 80s and 90s, the FDA and other organizations like the Department of Health, the USDA, they started advising Americans to limit their dietary cholesterol. And that's when the low fat everything was born. You probably all remember this, right? Low fat diets, low fat snacks, fat free dairy products, low fat frozen meals, fat free baked goods. And people sought them out everywhere because they thought they were healthier and would help them keep their cholesterol levels in check. And now, decades later, these are the same foods that we're now trying to stop eating because we've realized that they're full of unhealthy ingredients like artificial food dyes, brominated vegetable oil, recombinant bovine growth hormone. I think those ingredients are actually banned in Canada and Europe, but they're still allowed in the food of the United States, which is crazy. And even more confusing is that the food industry mislabels these products. Low-fat products or reduced sugar products, they may still contain high levels of unhealthy additives or artificial sweeteners, but we still reach for them because we think they're a better option. And here's another example. Did you ever look at a bag of potato chips on the front and see, hey, oh man, these aren't too bad, only 200 calories. And then you realize that the bag that you're looking at is actually 2 servings, not just one. Or go to a restaurant, polish off a whole meal that was so big that it could have actually been two. I mean, restaurants, especially in the fast food industry and food companies, they use these practices to make it hard to tell what a portion really is. And it goes in both directions. Underreporting when it's in their best interest, like the potato bag chips, and then serving in the case of restaurants. So it's no wonder that when it comes to choosing the right foods, everyone is confused. Everyone's confused. We're getting conflicting information from these so-called reliable sources, right? And yet when we follow their directions and try to eat healthy, our health just keeps getting worse. And what this does is it triggers a vicious cycle. We try, we fail, and so we beat ourselves up, you know? And here's the thinking that goes down in our own head. It's my fault. I'm just not capable of changing. I can't do it. And then we give up. We end up waging an internal battle within ourselves, when in reality, we should be waging a battle against what's in the shelves in our stores. And now I'm not saying that you should actually go out and, go pick it at the grocery stores, but what I'm saying is that your enemy isn't your body. It's not. Let me repeat that so it really sticks in. Your enemy is not your body. How many of you have actually thought that? How many people have said things like this? My body just won't let go of the weight. Here's another one I heard. My body's just not cooperating with me. I feel like, here's a good one. I feel like my body is actually fighting to hold on to the weight. How many people have said something like that? Put it in the comments if you're somebody that has said something or something similar to that. I'm sure many of you have, right? And I know because my clients tell me that all the time. They say it all the time. And when you feel like your body is against you, this is what happens. Here's what goes on here in your mind. You're waging an internal war between your sheer willpower and your body to get to your goals. It's you against you, right? It's you against you. And I want you to reframe that right now, because when you're fighting against yourself, you're inviting self-sabotage. The enemy is always within you, so it's impossible to win. Instead, guys, I want you to fight against our food culture. I want you to fight against the unhealthy choices that are in the grocery stores by not buying them. I want you to fight against unrealistic portion sizes by deciding for yourself what's right for you. You've probably seen us address, these same things in the Facebook group. So instead of thinking of your body as the enemy, I want you to know that you are actually the hero of your own story. You're the hero of your own story. And when you realize that you can be your own hero, everything changes. Everything changes because when you start seeing your body as your friend, your body is your friend. Your mind's going to want to help it, right? Not sabotage it. When you befriend your body, your relationship with it completely changes. Are you guys with me on that? Let that one stick in. Yes, you are the hero of your own journey. Awesome, guys. So I want to take a moment. I want to tell you a story about a client by the name of Teresa here. She's currently a client of Vibrant Life. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. She took charge of her food choices and in the end became friends with her body again. It's a great story to relate what I was just talking about. So before Vibrant Life, like Teresa had tried a lot of different things, just like many of the women that are in our program. Tried all kinds of things that didn't work. She was having also constant flare-ups of RA. She had many health conditions in her family that she was scared about: diabetes, COPD, heart issues. And she came into Vibrant Life not knowing how to properly balance her meals. And she was confused by all the misinformation that was out there. She was shocked at how learning the truth about food has completely changed her nutrition and what she actually likes to eat. She had no idea how essential protein was for building and maintaining muscle, which would in turn actually help her with her RA. She no longer pays attention to the scale and focuses on how she feels instead. Doing that, she's lost an incredible amount of inches, specifically in her waist, as seen in her progress photos. I'll pull that up now. Show you a little snapshot of Teresa here. So here's Teresa. Not the biggest thing here that has happened for Teresa was the exact thing that I talked about, the mindset shift, treating herself better. Her body is her friend now. She's not worrying about the scale. She's worrying about her actions that she's taking and the positivity that she sees from those actions. That's the difference. She sees her body completely different now. In the beginning, she was afraid to exercise because she thought that she was weak. She thought she was weak. And now here's where she's at. She's consistently increasing the amount of weight used every single month. She's slowly increasing the intensity of the workouts too, even with RA, right? She's getting stronger. She's building more endurance. She's building confidence. She's now very aware about how sugar and fried foods, how that actually affects her body and her disease. And she no longer craves them anymore. She also doesn't feel deprived because we've helped her learn that there are many substitutes that give her the feeling of satisfaction without the guilt. Without the guilt. Before Vibrant Life, Teresa was on a roller coaster of ups and downs, right? Because she didn't have the support needed to give her the right information and put her on the right track. And in fact, most women that I speak with tell me how they're caught in a vicious cycle too of trying and failing and trying and failing. Some of my clients have tried and failed for almost their entire life. In fact, some of my clients decided that they weren't going to invest another penny in trying to lose weight because they felt like it was an utter waste of money to try again. How much of you can you relate to just that line of thinking right there? How many of you feel like you've been on that roller coaster for years? Drop it in the chat if you felt that way. And yet, here you are. And there they were. Those people who were adamant about not investing another penny were in my gym. They were in front of me, just like you, hoping for a taste of success. So I'm going to tell you exactly what I told them. Success is not what you should be chasing. Success is not what you should be chasing. You should be chasing failure. Now, how many of you are now thinking, well, shoot, if it's failure that I'm chasing, like I can do that. That's easy, right? That's a piece of cake. I can see all the surprise and relief on a lot of your guys' faces. So let me explain this. Most of the time when we commit to something, we commit 100%. We're raring to go. We're starting off we're ready to do everything all at once, right? So we start off really well. We follow the plan to a T. Maybe for the first week or two, we've done everything we need to do. maybe even 3 weeks, maybe even 4. And then our willpower starts to go. Maybe we've seen some progress, and then we give ourselves a little permission to slide a little bit, and that slide becomes longer and longer until suddenly we're completely off the plan. Or maybe we don't see any progress at all, and we just decide to throw in the towel. Again, either way, there's no recovery plan in place. That's because if you've never planned for failure, when your goal is success, failure is not something that we think about, right? But when we plan for failure, we can make real progress. Because the reality is, every single one of us fails. Every one of us. The fittest person in the world fails. The fittest person that you know personally fails. I fail. All of my coaches fail. The difference is that they have a plan for their failures. First thing is the way they think about failure. They don't see failure as a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a time to, give themselves grace, to reflect back on how far they've come. And most importantly, I want you to remember this part right here. They view failure as a moment in time. It's a moment in time. It's short term. It's short term. It doesn't define you by any means. It's a pause. It's a stop on the track, not a complete derailment. Failure doesn't undo all of the hard work that they put in up to this point. You can't undo 2 weeks worth of hard work with a bad day. In fact, it's often a sign that you're ready to do more growing, that you're ready to go up another rung on the ladder, to stop and refuel for bigger things ahead. Sometimes we fail because the challenges become boring and we just need to reignite that fire. I'm going to give you a quick example here. In our program, we teach women about how important it is to train with weights, especially over 50. Some women are familiar with weight training, and some women have never picked up a weight in their life. And one of the biggest mistakes that we see with our clients when they first start lifting weights is that they don't lift a weight that is actually heavy enough to do anything, to actually help them. And do you know why that happens? It's because they're afraid. They're afraid if they pick up a heavier weight, they won't be able to do the repetitions. They're afraid that they'll fail. But that's precisely the thinking that's keeping them stuck. With weight training, you're going out after that point of failure. You want to get to the point where it's hard to lift that weight, where that last repetition is hard to get up. When you hit that point, you know that's where you want to be. And if you stay there for good, you're only going to be as strong as that weight that you lifted. But if we slowly start going up, we start getting stronger, right? That's the point at which your muscle really starts to grow, where you start to reap the benefits. So my point is, guys, failure is not a bad thing. Failure is inevitable. It's when you plan for failure that you'll have success. Let me tell you about a client that we have. Her name is Debbie. She demonstrates this really well. So Debbie told us when she started in our program, she said, I was always the fat kid. And I'm actually going to read a quote. I'm going to read a quote from Debbie right now because this is exactly what she told us. She said, my mother's friends always told me that I would grow out of being the fat girl. And sure enough, I always did, right into a bigger size. Now we can all laugh a little bit at this. And as you can see, Debbie has a sense of humor too. But Debbie decided that that wasn't going to be her identity any longer. She told us that I've been fat all of my life, but at 65, it's time to change. She had tried everything, including weight loss surgery. She previously lost 100 pounds, but started to gain it all back. And at the start of Vibrant Life, the scale was dictating her moods. She was starting to have those sugar cravings come back. She felt guilty, even when she just had one cookie. And her coach helped her see that she was on a journey that would have ups and downs. She taught her how to give herself grace, to see a failure as a moment in time, just as I said before. And she's made this mindset shift now from letting the scale control her mood to focusing on her energy levels, how her clothes fit, and how she looks differently in pictures. She recognizes that this is a lifelong journey and is investing in her health. The majority of her food choices have improved so much that she no longer feels guilty about having one cookie. She allows herself to do that, actually. Here's the other cool thing. Her husband's even adopted some of these changes alongside Debbie and has lost 10 pounds himself. And so after Debbie's mindset shift, here's what happened. And it didn't happen until she made this switch. She lost 21 pounds. She's down 21 pounds in 7 weeks after making that shift. Her original goal was to get down to 180 pounds, but now that she's closing in on that, she now knows that she can go even further, all without looking at the scale. So let me ask all of you guys this. How many of you are ready to put a failure plan in place and to start embracing failure as part of that journey to success? Put it in the chat. Say, I'm ready to embrace failure. Let's put it in the chat. Let's show everybody here that we're committing to making these shifts here, right here. Thank you, Krista. Awesome. Ready. Yes. Just put ready in there. That's great. I love it. So I want you to go for it next time. The next time you're faced with failure, I want you to give yourself grace. I want you to reflect back on your progress and think of it as a stop, not a derailment. And then I want you to put a time frame in place. How long is your stop going to be? Is it going to be a few hours? A half a day? One full day? Do that and then move on. All right, now on to the last mindset shift. And this is probably the most important one. Again, my coaches and I have worked with hundreds of women in their 40s, 50s, 60s. And when we ask them why they want to join our private coaching programs, 99% of them say that they have a certain amount of weight to lose, 15, 20, 50, 100 pounds. A number is the first thing that comes out of their mouth. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a number in mind. It's really good to know that. It's good to have an end goal in mind, but it's not the best end goal to have. Because here's the thing. Weighing less is almost really never what you really want deep down. I know plenty of people who have had a number go in mind and they focus on that number week after week after week. They're in that battle. And then they finally get there and they feel a little bit let down. We see it play out all the time, even in the celebrity world, with athletes, with high achieving business leaders, professionals that are at the top of the field. Serena Williams, she's spoken out all very publicly about her issues with body image, and she's a world-class athlete. Elon Musk, he's spoken out about burnout, even though he's one of the most successful business leaders in the world. Jim Carrey, who was once the highest paid actor, has struggled with depression, has struggled with feeling purposeful. That was even during the height of his career. How does this happen? It happens because they had their eye on the wrong goal. And in the process of achieving that goal, they were blind to recognizing the things that would actually have made them happier, like happy relationships, self-confidence, and self-reliance while they were on that journey. So how do we know what our real goals are? I have a simple 5-step exercise that we're going to do right now together. That's going to help you nail down your goal. You guys ready? All right, you may have heard me talk about it before, but we're going to do it again. It's called the 5 whys. We talk about this all the time, and we're going to do this together. So you might have already answered that first question in your mind. Why are you here? Why are you here right now? And let's say, like most of our clients, we're going to start out with this surface level goal. It's totally okay here. Let's say it's because you want to lose a certain amount of weight. Let's say it's 25 pounds. Now ask yourself this question. Why do you want to lose 25 pounds? Think about that. Try to answer that. You can put it in the chat. Absolutely. Put it in the chat. Why do you want to lose 25 pounds? So you might say, so I can fit into my old clothes in the back of my closet. Okay. Now we need to ask ourselves why. So I hear be healthier. Okay. Why do you want to be healthier? I'm seeing the things in the chat. Why do you want to be healthier? So ask yourself that next question. So in my example, so I can fit into the clothes in the back of my closet. Why do I want to fit into those old clothes? And you might say, because I look better in those clothes. Okay. Let's ask that next question. Whatever you answered, I want you to ask yourself why. Why do you want to do the next thing? Why do you want to do the next thing? Okay, so Why, you might ask yourself, why do you want to look better? And the answer to that question might be something like this: so I can feel comfortable doing things in public. Okay. And we're going to take it one more step. So we have to get to 5. Okay. So keep asking yourself that next why. So if, in this example, why do you want to be comfortable doing things in public? And you might say, because I want to start enjoying my life. I want to start, trying new things. I want to make some new friends. I actually might want to meet someone special. Now, do you see what happened there? Do you see what happened there? The first goal, lose 25 pounds, wasn't your real goal. When you dug a little bit deeper and you asked yourself, why? 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 It became clear, right? It became clear what the real goal was. The real reason to get healthy for this example was to start enjoying life by taking up new activities and meeting new people. That's what you want out of it, right? What will the 25 pounds get you? That's what we're talking about. That's the beauty of this process is this, right? You might start feeling, here's the cool thing. When we think of it this way, you might start feeling happy and proud and fulfilled much earlier than you originally thought. You might be able to put on that beautiful sweater that's been buried in the back of your closet after losing just 10 pounds. You might go on a picnic with your friends and get in that paddle boat with confidence and bump into somebody special, right? But if you're only focused on that number, you're going to say things like this. Well, I'm not at my goal yet. I still got 15 pounds to go. I got to stay focused here. It's likely when you think like that you're not even going to look for the sweater in the back of your closet. You might say no to the invitation to go out. You might not never get in that paddle boat, even though you can. You're skipping the good part. You're skipping the good part. Let me tell you about a client of ours by the name of Bobby Spencer. Bobby came to Vibrant Life with a big goal to lose 75 pounds. Just like all of our clients, we encouraged Bobby to, of course, we're going to go deeper than that. So we asked her to do the 5 whys. So here's her answer. I want to reverse my diabetes. I want to like what I see in the mirror. And I want to start roller skating again. And in just 4 months, Bobby's lowered her A1C from 8.3 to 7.1. And by controlling her diabetes, she's lowered the pressure in her eyes, improving and clearing up her vision. Her triglycerides started at 293 and are now 153. She's lost 15 pounds so far and recently added a trampoline workout. She bought a new pair of skates. She's tried them on, and she's getting much closer to her first spin around the roller rink, which she told me and promised me that she would do in June. I'm going to show you a picture of Bobby here. Here's Bobby. Got her roller skates on there. I know Coach Tamitha coaches Bobby, so she's excited to see this picture too. But yeah, that's what we're talking about, guys. This is the life that Bobby wants to live. This is her not just doing this for a number, but doing it for herself, doing it for things that make her happy and fulfilled. So here's what's important to remember, guys. The journey is the good part. You're in it from the moment you begin. Your end goal isn't to finish the program or lose the 25 pounds. Your end goal is to live a vibrant life. And you don't have to wait until you've lost 25 pounds to start doing it. You can start doing it better from day one. So let me remind you of the 3 ways that we've shifted our mindset here today. How I've helped you, start thinking differently about your weight and your health goals. Number 1, you know that even though the cards are stacked against you, your body is not the enemy. Your body is your friend. And you are the hero. You're the hero of your own journey. Number 2, you realize that failure is actually your path to success. And that when you have a plan for failure, you can succeed. Number 3, you realize that your goals that you've held for a long time may not be the right goals, and that the journey is the best part. I want you to recognize that there's a theme. There's a theme that runs through all three of these things. And here's the theme. It's to be kind to yourself, to practice loving yourself. It's something that we take a huge, this is such a big part of our program. We actually have a self-love workbook for women that we have them go through because we know how much it matters. That's part of doing this the right way, the right way. And here's the thing, guys, you guys all deserve to reach your goals and you can reach them. I believe you can. So now, do you believe you can? That's what's important. Do you believe that you see yourself, that you can see yourself, your potential differently right now? Put in the chat how you're feeling. I want to know how you guys are feeling after going through this with me. Thinking differently about this journey for yourself. Put in the chat one way that you can put these new ways of thinking into action today. What's a thought that you had recently that you're going to reframe for yourself? Love it. Hopeful. Love it. Positive. That you can make a change. Great, guys. This is what I want to see. So we've got some real change going on today, and I love it. And I feel pretty confident that if we were to end the webinar right now, that you could take these mindset shifts and you could apply them on your own journey and reap some of the benefits here. But that's not your only option. And I think you're going to be pretty excited to hear about what's coming up here. This is an opportunity that I have never, ever offered before, but I think it's needed, especially right now in my community. I hear from a lot of women that they've tried a bunch of other programs. Like I mentioned before, Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, the keto diet. And these programs can work for some people, but the women in my Facebook group, they don't often find success with those programs because they're built for women who are younger and who aren't dealing with the hormone changes that my clients experience. That's something that me and my coaches have really gotten great at because we focus solely on women who are dealing with the challenges that come with menopause. We've got a ton of experience with women like you that a lot of these other programs just don't have. So let me run through this real quick. And again, if those three mindset shifts haven't resonated with you, then this program may not be for you. This isn't for everyone. But if you're still with me, then this is just going to take a few minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and do a big Q&A to get any questions answered about the things that we've covered today. Okay, so today, guys, you have a chance to become a part of something brand new that we've created for people who aren't quite ready for one-on-one coaching, but who don't want to keep letting go of their health. And normally we only offer one-on-one coaching to our clients, but this is a new 6-week group coaching program that begins on April 16th, next Tuesday. In the beginning, we talked about some of the elements of a great program, and we tackled the big one on this call, and that was the mindset shifts, right? So we're going to work on more of that throughout the program. And you're also going to get one-to-one messaging with your own personal Vibrant Life coach. I know I told you this was a group coaching program, but also know that this one-on-one time is really key to your success. So I'm going to include that too. And this is so important because it's going to help you get clear on your goals. Okay, remember those 5 whys. It's going to set you up to handle any of those failures. Remember that failure plan, how important that is. Each week, we're also going to have a group Zoom call. That's where you're going to be able to get direct support. We'll be celebrating each other's wins. You'll get that dose of motivation you need each and every week. You'll feel the energy of the group pushing you on. This is the best way that we found to keep you motivated and on track. And it's something that we do even for our one-on-one clients because the community piece is so important here. You're also going to be together in your own private Vibrant Life group chat where we're going to be constantly providing the motivation and accountability for you to make progress every single day. We're going to give you a nutrition guide that's created specifically for you based on your current weight, your activity level, and your goals. And we'll take away the confusion about what to eat. Remember that non-fat, reduced sugar confusion? We're going to completely clear it up with this guide. We're going to give you really simple, easy recipes that are going to help you jumpstart your weight loss. You'll get a workout plan that's completely flexible and made for you. That means you can adjust it to accommodate your fitness level. You can work with whatever you have available to you. whether it's dumbbells, resistance bands, or even just your body weight at home. And we're going to give you options so that you can work around any single limitation that you might have. It could be shoulder, knees, back, whatever it may be. We want to make sure that you build that stamina safely. We're also going to be sending you a couple emails each week with tips and tricks that'll help you make progress. So let's put this in perspective here. If we were to go hire a personal trainer and see them 3 times a week, it would cost about $75 per session. Or if you add that up, $1,500 for 6 weeks. And that's on the low end. You add in a nutrition coach on top of that, and that's easily another $500. So that right there is $2,000. And that doesn't even take into account all of the other things that we're including. So instead of that $2,000 investment, you're going to get all of this for just $397, which ends up being only $66 per week. I'm going to put a link in the chat now. Nick, if you would go ahead and Coach Nick, if you drop that link in the chat right now, that's going to take you right to a page that you'll be able to sign up for this program. There's going to be 2 options on that page, limited or standard. Limited is for someone with any limitations. It could be shoulders, knees, back, or anything. And standard is for someone who doesn't have any limitations. So pick whatever you think's best for you now. We can always switch it later. Now, remember that investment includes the group orientation, our weekly group meetings, one-on-one messaging with your coach, plus the nutrition and exercise coaching. But we've cooked up some great bonuses to add in, which is going to make this program even better. And if you ask me where you can get these bonuses as a standalone product, I'll tell you they're not available. We're just including them as a bonus to this program. And you're going to want to hang on to the end because I've saved the best bonus for last. And it's only available today to those people who are live with us on this webinar. These bonuses give you access to many of the things that we usually reserve only for our one-on-one clients. So first thing is, we're going to invite you to certain group activities, like our ladies' night, our live strength coaching, our live yoga classes, our live meal prep workshops, which is where one of our coaches who's here right now, it's one of our client favorites. She's going to literally help you make all of the food that you possibly need for the whole week in less than an hour. So Coach Tamitha walks you through it all. She makes it incredibly easy for you. Plus, you get to do it right alongside women just like you. And speaking of meal prep, we also are going to give you access to our previous recordings of all of the past meal prep workshops where you'll be able to refer to them time and time again so that you're ready to hit the road running with all of your meals any week of the year. And remember, you can sign up by getting all of the links. So Nick, go ahead and post that link one more time. And if you don't want to cook, guys, if you don't want to cook, or maybe you just need some more convenient meals when you're on the go, we've got you covered there too, because we're also going to include 40% off any of our meal delivery service from our partner FlexPro Meals. This makes it easier to hit your nutrition goals. Even if you're super busy, you get healthy, balanced meals approved by us right to your door. On top of that, guys, you're also going to get access to our speaker resource bundle, which is a special collection of recordings from our guest speakers, the ones that our clients felt were most impactful. And we're also going to give you 20% off any of our supplements as well. So all of these bonuses alone are worth another $750. All right, now for the big one, for this last bonus. This is, again, something that we reserve just for our one-on-one programs, but we decided to include it here today because we know it's so important. And that's more accountability. We found that many of our clients, they don't want to tell their friends or even their partner that they're trying another program. So accountability just isn't there. They don't want to risk having to share another failure down the road. But it's such an important piece of the puzzle. Remember when we talked about planning for failure? Failure is going to happen, and it's important to be able to share whenever you become stuck. When you keep your failures to yourself, it's easy to let your effort fizzle, when you're by yourself. And then you're back to square one. But when you have somebody beside you, a coach that's on the journey with you, right next to you as your partner, they're going to be ready with that plan for failure. They're going to help you get back up and get back into the saddle. They're going to help clear up any confusion, all without any judgment. Because we know failures are just the stepping stones to success. Let me tell you a quick story about our client, Annie. when Annie joined Vibrant Life in June 23, she had some big goals and really important reasons for achieving them. She had a strong family history of heart disease. She'd been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes due to many poor years of eating habits and inactivity. And she was carrying around an extra 100 pounds. She felt completely exhausted most of the time. And her dream was to lose 100 pounds. Her dream was to travel and sit in a regular airplane seat, to ride horses again, to ride all of the rides at theme parks, and ultimately to find someone special to spend her life with. And Annie had some really tough habits to contend with. You know, she was night stacking in front of the TV. She had a real big sweet tooth. She ate out 3 to 4 times a week. She stayed up too late. She was skipping meals. And all of that was causing her weight to keep climbing. Not to mention the fact that she was a people pleaser who didn't have strong boundaries and said yes to everything and everyone except herself. Annie felt motivated and excited when she joined our program, but that quickly faded. And the excuses for not exercising or following through with her commitments were becoming more and more frequent. To her, all these excuses felt like valid reasons that she justified in her mind. And around January 1st, Coach Tamitha sent her a video message with some encouragement, along with a healthy dose of what we love to call tough love. And in it, her coach reminded her of what she came here to accomplish and how her current behaviors were holding her back. She also pointed out that Annie had many strengths, you know, and how she could apply them in this area of her life. And so Annie was finally able to see the link between her struggles and her mindset. Her newfound clarity allowed her to finally get rid of the excuses, and she began following through with her commitments and making herself a priority. She now completes a workout or walk almost every day and has drastically changed her eating habits. And she's done this all despite being laid off at work and then also having a death in her family. Some pretty crazy obstacles, but she's still done it. So Annie now has lost 20 pounds. She reports feeling much more energetic. She's in a healthy relationship with a wonderful man and has a wedding in her future. Her dreams are starting to become true. So this final bonus is the opportunity to get that type of support that Annie had. That coach who's there to help you make those breakthroughs, just as Annie did. This last bonus is 2 additional one-on-one calls with your coach throughout the 6 weeks to keep you on track. They'll cheer you on. They'll answer your questions. They'll be your safety net when you're feeling shaky. But that bonus, it has to be limited because I don't have 100 coaches. So I can't give this away to everyone. These 2 extra calls are only for the people on this call today who book right now before we sign off for the day. And even then, we only have a certain number of spaces because our coaches, they only have so much time. So it's possible it could actually expire before the end of the webinar. And so again, you can go to that link. Go ahead and post that link again, Nick, for people. And you can grab your spot in the 6-week program that starts next Tuesday. If you're committed, if you know you want this program, then sign up now. Sign up so you don't lose this bonus, because these 2 calls are like a giant safety net ready to catch you whenever you need it most. Before I open the Q&A, guys, I want to read through what we call our Vibrant Life Manifesto. And I'm going to read this to you because we encourage our clients to read this each day to embrace the new person they're becoming. So I'm going to share it with you now. All right. For a woman living the vibrant life, age is just a number. It doesn't represent who she is or how she lives. She's proud of her experience because she knows her attitude, mindset, and the value she brings to any situation can move mountains. Taking a stand for her remaining years, a woman living the vibrant life understands that how she shows up for herself matters more than ever, not only for herself, but for her loved ones. A woman living the vibrant life thrives through her intentional focus on health, fitness, and staying open to new possibilities, new passions, new adventures, new life. A woman living the vibrant life never makes excuses. Instead, she leads by example, creating a ripple effect of opportunity that inspires everyone around her. A woman living the vibrant life refuses to slow down or give up. She gets the support she needs because her vision for her life is bigger than just this moment. For her, asking for help represents strength, not weakness. A woman living the vibrant life is in control of her destiny, in control of her situation, her health, her body, and in turn, her life. A woman living the vibrant life shatters the belief that getting older means slowing down, that retirement means a rocking chair. Choosing to live a vibrant life means making a commitment to your future self. It demonstrates your willingness to put aside your doubts, your fears, your excuses, and every reason to not do it. And instead, take control of your health, your body, your well-being, and in turn, the rest of your life. Welcome to your vibrant life. All right, guys. So let's open it up for a few questions here, guys. My team's already told me they've seen a few. I even got a direct message as well coming in with a couple questions. So put anything that you have in the chat and we'll try to get through as many as we possibly can. So I'm going to read the first one because it was a direct message to me. The first question in the message I got was, what if this program doesn't work for me? So I'm going to remove as much risk here as possible for you. I know that we have the best program on the planet. We have incredibly the best program on the planet for women that are in middle age. I've seen so many people who have said they've tried it all, who finally find us and make a huge breakthrough. We've talked about them already on the call. Women who've struggled with weight for their entire lives. People that have lost 30, 40, 50, even 75 pounds or more. But I understand that sometimes it's hard to believe, especially if you've been trying for years. So here's my promise to you. If you follow through with the program, you can show up for those meetings, show up for the calls, participate in the 6-week program, and don't see the results that you were hoping for, I'll refund you the full $397. No questions asked. But honestly, the biggest risk to you is not what happens if you decide to join the program. It's what will happen to you if you don't start tackling your health and fitness problems now. I mentioned that my dad died when I was 5, guys. So this next thing that I say, this comes from personal experience. We truly don't know how much time we have. We don't. But I also know as a coach that we limit the time that we do have every single day that we choose to ignore our health. So that's the ultimate risk. We have one body, and when we don't take care of it, we're inviting all kinds of health issues. But even if you don't become sick, there's also the impact of not being able to do the things that will actually give your life meaning and purpose. Maybe it's playing with your grandkids. Maybe it's enjoying a round of golf. Maybe it's going on vacation to celebrate your anniversary or even roller skating again, like our client, Bobby. Being stuck in an unhealthy body is limiting. There's no way around it. The bottom line is that our health drives everything that we do, and without it, we can't live our best life. We can't. Okay, so I'm going to bring all the coaches on. Nick, if you'd spotlight everybody for me here, and we're going to do the rest of the Q&A together here. All right. And go ahead and keep putting in questions here. We'll keep going as long as we possibly can here. What's the first question that we have?
Unless someone else had one. I saw a question earlier about how can you work out safely with osteoporosis? So that was a really, really good question. Would I be able to volunteer you, Tamitha? You are such a science whiz on these things, but I thought this would be a great one.
Sure.
And I can tag team in here as well. But I was mentioning earlier, we've worked with so many people that have injuries, illnesses, sicknesses, diseases of all sorts, and that building up your strength is something that's going to help out with that. So osteoporosis isn't saying that you can't exercise or you can't build that strength. Through the nutrition and getting the proper amounts of things into your body, especially focusing on protein, we can then build the strength to support those bones. So that's a big part of this. And we can do that even from a seated position. So I know safety can be a big deal. We can start in a chair and building up that strength. But I wanted to see if you wanted to add anything else in there with me, Tamitha.
Well, the only thing that I would add is that, after the age of 40 or so, we are not, I'm 54. We are not building bone mass anymore. We are in the business of maintaining. And so this is super, super important. So even if you don't have osteoporosis yet, we have to do this. We have to do some strength training. And so the way to prevent that bone loss is to put stress on the bones. And we do that through strength training. And just like Nick said, some people would do it from a chair until they can get strong enough to do it from a standing position. We start easy, we work to harder, and that's how we do it. And regardless of how, advanced yours might be, we can always find something for you to do. So, there's all kinds of ways to skin this cat and we'll find it for you.
Great answer. I wanted somebody else to answer that one. Tamitha, that's a great way to answer it, Nick, too. Recently I see somebody ask, what happens at the end of 6 weeks? That's a great question. At the end of 6 weeks, we're going to have multiple opportunities for you. If this group coaching was amazing and you loved it, we'll have an opportunity to continue in the group atmosphere and keep going that way. If you want more of a one-on-one coach, that's totally cool too. And we'll absolutely have those conversations towards the end of the 6 weeks. What other questions we got, Nick? I know you probably wrote some of them down.
Oh yeah, let me hop back to another one. We had
I will
another.
say, oh, sorry, Nick, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, our ultimate goal is to help you develop habits and behaviors that create a situation where you don't have to do more programs in the future. You could be done with doing one 6 week program after another and doing this diet and do this weight loss and this company. You don't ever have to do that again. And so we teach you how to live your life in a manner that supports that idea. And it's successful. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I was just saying, we also saw a question earlier. Osteoporosis was one, but also exercising with diabetes was another one that I saw earlier. So yeah, basically, again, all different sorts of injuries and illnesses and things like that we can encounter. We work with a lot of women that do have diabetes as well. And the movement is going to help you with your diabetes. We're going to give you a nutrition plan that's going to assist you so that you are able to eat foods that fuel that activity, so that you are able to do the activity. And then again, if this is type 2 diabetes, that's something we can eventually reverse, which we have done with our clients. It's going to take you doing some work, but it's absolutely doable. You can exercise. Again, like we said earlier, seated programs, we can focus on just staying on the floor, not having to get back up, or we don't have to get to the floor at all. So there's a lot of different options for that.
Yeah, and actually, when you do resistance training for type 2 diabetes, adding muscle to your body and doing resistance training has been scientifically shown to help manage blood sugar. So it's actually going to directly influence the type of stuff we do. As we do encourage the strength training, it's the #1 most important thing for any woman to do, especially over 50. And we're going to teach you how to do it in a safe manner that gets you to, I guess, the point like we made with one of our clients who had RA and felt weak and didn't want to do it. She was scared to do it. And now she's doing things she never thought she could. So not only is it going to help you with the disease that you have, but it's also going to give you that confidence to go out and live your life in a better way too, and not be so scared.
I want to tag on to that. Your muscle is your car's engine. The bigger the engine, the more gas you burn sitting at a red light, driving, and everything else. You want a big engine to burn those calories. So that absolutely helps with diabetes as well. If we have time, I saw another one about, do we have a weight loss plan that we adjust for people who've had weight loss surgery? Yes, absolutely. We've worked with quite a few people that have had bariatric surgeries. Tamitha and Cindy are like, yep, we've done that before. Depending on what they've done, they've shrunk the size of your stomach to maybe the size of a banana. You can't eat large amounts of food. So we have to make sure that the portions of different things you get, carbs, fats, and proteins, and the nutrients you're getting are smaller and more often. We can't just pack all this healthy stuff into one big meal because your stomach can't digest it anymore. We need to have smaller meals that are nutritious more often. That was a great question.
Yeah. Was this the new one? How much will follow-up programs cost? So yeah, we don't have an exact number of that because it's going to be dependent on what you need. And we take a huge amount of pride in getting to know each and every woman who's in our program, to know about their past, to know about, what they actually need the most of to get the most out of the program. The 6-week program is everybody's getting the same thing here, which is what we think almost everybody needs. but your needs might be a little bit different. So it's hard to tell without actually knowing you, and that's what we're going to get to do is we'll get to know you throughout the 6 weeks. And then of course, towards the end, we're going to really spend some time getting to know you and seeing how we can support you. And some people might not need anything else at all. Maybe the 6 weeks is enough for them. And that's totally cool too. You're going to get a ton out of it no matter what. And just like I said before, there's no risk to this. If you don't feel like it was the most amazing program you've ever participated in, say the word, we give you a refund so that we don't have to worry about that.
Do we have time for a few more questions?
Yeah, looks like Debbie had one there, Nick. You want to read that one off?
Yeah. What if I have knee problems? I have knee and hip pain and I'm not sure I can work out. I want to tag team Cindy in here too, because I know you've worked with quite a few people that have some knee and
I
hip
mean,
pain. Yeah, tell me
honestly,
about it.
I would say the majority of my clients have some sort of knee pain. Yours truly sometimes has knee pain and arthritis, and we start you out at a level that's comfortable. Like Tamitha said, there's lots of seated exercises, there's lots of yoga. And also once you start to get confident, sometimes working out is exactly what your knees need. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but a lot of times once you get going and rolling, it actually the knee pain dissipates. And then when you start to lose weight, that's less stress on your knees as well. It makes it much easier.
But you always have arms. If your knees don't work, we got arms. And we can always find something for you to do that doesn't, cause you pain.
And we have a core too.
Yes, and a core, yes.
Yeah. The coolest thing is when I see people tell me that they have all the knee pain and then we start doing the exercises that we prescribe to them and then they don't have that knee pain anymore. That's the coolest thing. But we know there's going to be some people that just absolutely can't. Maybe they have a knee surgery planned out. We work around all of that. We had a couple other ones come in there. Do you need to be a part of the program in order to join the Facebook group? No, anybody can join the Facebook group. That's our free community for everybody.
Saw another one. Are you getting that one, Ryan? Is this for people who have any amount of weight to lose, like a lot, 50 pounds or more? Absolutely. We have clients that come in the door that have 100+ pounds to lose. Sometimes close to multiple hundreds that they need to lose. Yeah, we work with you where you're at. So essentially, if you're entering a school system and we need to test what grade level you're at, that's what we do with you, right? Hey, I'm at this grade level, we're going to meet you there and we're going to build you up. That's the whole purpose. Wherever you're at, we're going to meet you there, we're going to build you up. And kind of like we talked about earlier, we all fall down for a minute, but we learn from that failure. There's no failure, only feedback, right? So if we're starting you at that level and it's difficult, we can make things easier for you so you can continue to progress and build up.
Yeah, Nick, you said it well. We meet you where you're at. So we've had some clients that didn't even have a weight loss goal come to us and had more of a strength goal and being able to do more things. We've had the whole gamut, and that's the thing. We try to meet people exactly where they're at on their journey and make it the right fit for them, not just some generic thing. But however, the 6-week program is going to be what we have seen from 12 years of experience. The majority, 90%, is going to need what we have in the 6-week program, and then we'll make those little tweaks as we see them as they come up.
Yeah,
Right.
I want to fill in on that a little bit. Any client with any challenges, we can help you out. One of my clients has severe Parkinson's, and for the past 4 years, our fight has been to not let it impact my life more. Let me tell you, it's been an amazing battle. And Parkinson's is something that no matter how long you live, it will get worse. And she's fought it off so hard that she functions better than some people coming into the program with no disease and very little weight to lose. So there's incredible things you can do if you bring that good attitude.
All right. Was there any other questions, Nick? I think that covered all of them, but
I think you hit them all. Yeah.
okay. Well, never mind. I have one last question here. Okay. How long does the program be? Wait, sorry. When does the program begin and how long do I have to sign up? Okay. So the program begins on April 16th, next Tuesday. It ends on May 28th. So that's a full 6 weeks. Here's everything you're going to, just to kind of recap everything you're going to get. You're going to get that group orientation with all the ladies in the program to get everyone going together. So we're going to start building that community together there. Each week, we're also going to have a group Zoom call. That's where we're going to have that direct support. We'll be celebrating each other's wins. You'll get that daily dose of motivation that you need each week, and you'll feel that energy of the group, pushing you on each and every week. You're also going to have a one-on-one coach here. So you're going to be able to message your coach at any time, get your personal questions answered during the full 6 weeks, and be a part of the Vibrant Life group discussions with that community of the 6-week program as well. We're going to give you that nutrition guide and simple recipes to help take away the confusion about what to eat. You're going to get a workout plan that's completely flexible. That means that you can adjust it to accommodate, any fitness level, and we'll help you make those accommodations whenever necessary. And we're going to give you options so that you can work around any limitations. So it could be shoulders, back, knee, whatever it may be. And we're also going to be sending you an email every week for tips and tricks that's going to help you make progress. So all of that for just $397, plus all of the bonuses that we talked about too. These are going to be worth another $750 just on top of it. So the group activities, our ladies' night, our live strength coaching, our live meal prep workshops that are going to help you prep a week's worth of meals in less than an hour. You're going to get recordings of all of our past meal prep workshops, whether you're going to be able to refer back to those and have those forever. So you'll be able to be prepared any week of the year. 40% off any of our meal delivery services from our partner, FlexPro Meals. Our speaker resource bundle, which is a collection of recordings from our guest speakers, the ones that our clients, felt were most impactful for them. 20% off our supplements. And then for those who sign up right now, who click the link and visit the page before we end the Zoom call, you're going to get that 2 additional calls. You're going to get one-on-one calls between you and your personal coach. You're going to get on Zoom. You guys are going to hammer out anything that needs to be hammered out there to make sure that you're completely successful. So we're going to drop the link here one last time, Nick, if you would just drop that in the chat there. And for those that like to, I forgot I also did, I did put a little thing together. So yes, here's everything is included if you're a visual person: the one-on-one daily messaging, weekly group calls, customized workouts, personalized nutrition guidance, daily progress tracking within our app, the community group chat, 40% off meal delivery, 20% off supplements, member resources portal, which has a million different things in it, all listed here. Live access to our yoga, strength sessions, and meal prep workshops, and then those 2 one-on-one coaching sessions. And all of that together is normally $3,000. Today, it's just $397 to get started with that.
Yeah, did you have that visual?
Oh, I guess I didn't share it that
There
whole
we go.
time.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, here it is. Here's what I was trying to share. So there it is, guys. I'll leave that up though while I'm going and finishing up here. So here's the thing, guys. Don't let another day go by where you don't feel your best. I'll tell this to you, like I've told a lot of our clients before, that were maybe a little hesitant to jump in and get the support. If you just give us 1% of your trust, every time we're going to earn the other 99%. I can guarantee you that right now. And like I said before, I'm going to remove all the risks. I know that we have the best program in the world, the best in the world for women over 50. I've seen so many women who've tried everything, who finally find us and make a huge breakthrough. So I'm going to give you one last chance to click the payment link, and then I'm going to give you another few minutes after the webinar just to enter all your information in so that you can get all the bonuses. So thank you everyone today for being here. I know it's hard to take time out of your day in the middle of the day here on a Friday, and that tells me that this is something that everybody here is really focused on. So I applaud you for that. It's really awesome that you guys are here, and you've already taken that really first important step, and I know that success is there. It awaits you in your near future. So bye for now, guys, and I hope to see everybody here on the webinar. I hope to see you guys in our community. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.